This video is sponsored by my OnlyFans, where I do my meaningful sex educational content, fitness, health, nutrition, relationship advice, and more. Hi guys, and welcome to Getty Reviews and to this trailer reaction of the, well, most anticipated Total War Warhammer 3 Nurgle trailer, which is actually, well, I can't wait to see it, especially after the Ogress, that was pretty awesome. So, it is a covenant with chaos. So I'm excited, really, to see what's gonna happen here. And I'm just getting more and more surprised every time by these trailers, because they are getting, well, better and better. I mean, I wonder if, if the studio are going to top themselves, because they really do that a lot. In any case, we win. So let's see it. Okay, and we're starting, just like a movie trailer. Oh boy.
He carries the dome, a pact with the architect. Fate is fickle. So close, never enough. He wants more. We all wanted more.
Oh, Jesus Christ! That's not slaanesh. Oh damn. Yes, it does. Yeah. So very compelling. Oh my gosh, okay. Yeah, they did top themselves. They did. They did. Okay, we're going to break it down. But first, hi to everybody in the chat officially. Matty. That is amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you so very much for the super chat. No words. Thank you. This is going to help greatly to the channel. Thank you. really amazing surprise. So, my Primarch Materian, my Primarch Clayton or Claudius, and Aurelian. Hi to you, and of course, let's see who else is here. Jake! Really missed you, Jake. Surdy! And, oh, DRL, you too! Awesome, guys. I'm very happy that you're here, Eric. Fantasy lore. Yes, yes. I mean, once again, these cinematic trailers are so freaking good that I just want a series or something, you know? I just want a movie or series, like anything. Give me something, even if it's in this format, because the animation is such a quality. I would love to see CG animation. I mean, I crave literally such shows, movies. I just adore a very good quality animation, cinematics, all of that. Amazing. I appreciate the art style. I appreciate how compelling they can make it, which here is a lot. And just to see the expression of this priest, I think. Sorry if I'm mistaken, but yeah, I mean, he is very expressive. Now let's try to break it down a bit. My apologies, guys. It's just 11. Okay, so first thing that comes to mind, the Eldari. Are they Eldari in the fantasy universe? So they, the elves, so to speak, they look pretty impressive. I mean, all of those statues are amazing. You do know how I love statues, guys, right? For some reason, I just have this fascination with beautiful statues, especially if they start moving, like it was in Kate. You know, that was just so epic. Maybe it's from God of War, the older games. I don't know, but I just find it very cool. These are not moving, but it does show the fall of the Eldar to the influence of slaanesh, let's call it that way. Ah, this is terrifying. I hope I don't dream about that. I mean, they are elves technically anyway. Okay, just the Warhammer universe of Eldar. Elves. I mean, this is so cool how it's made. It's telling the story, you know, of how they fell to the dark gods. The contrast between the normal and the not normal. And then these visions. Jesus, these visions. They're horrifying. And especially, you know, because I am on the first book of the Dark Imperium right now, which is 40k, obviously. But I'm at this point where there's a very vivid explanation of Nurgle and how he is doing things to people. So yeah, I am 7 hours and 32 minutes. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry guys, I haven't slept all night. Too much Pepsi, Cola, 0. Anyway, so 7 hours, 32 minutes in. And, well, this is totally not my favorite book. I'll probably do a review after I finish it by Guy Haley. But yeah, always, you know, all the descriptions of Nurgle and how it corrupts the flesh and just people in general, what it does to living organism. It is the most disgusting thing I ever heard with my ears. So yeah, there's that. It's a very colorful explanation of that. So here, that too. Yeah. Just do not miss anything that you're saying. So hi to you, Gold Force. Those I think are Demontes, just disguised. Is that like demons? Because unlike 40k, I'm not so perfectly into the fantasy, especially not in the new things, which I have to get on that. I mean, I am, but slowly but surely. Oh, you would love the Tom King Warhammer 2 trailer, lots of statues with movie. What movie? Think fantasy Necrons. Well, you can paste the link here if you like. I would appreciate that and check it after the stream. If I haven't covered it, because I covered so many things that maybe I forgot. I doubt it, but still, if I haven't, I could do that. I could cover it at least. And Kari, that's how they're called. Yeah, I know about, yeah, Mortarion, yeah, I know. Although in the last book, he didn't really fare well with Nurgle, did he? Ah, slaanesh, lesser demons, okay, thank you. Okay, I have this one question though, if you guys could answer the, yeah, if you can answer me. Is that literally Nurgle, or is like the highest of demons of Nurgle? He looks rather small to be Nurgle in person. And why would he be there? He can just destroy everything and everyone corrupt and make it anything disgusting without being there physically. Although this looks exactly like Nurgle, but hey, it could be his higher demon that looks like that. Who knows? Ah, demons and demons are two different things. Wow, that's interesting. Ah, and Kari is the guy at the end holding out his hand. Ah, haha, interesting, interesting. Ah, so Nurgle is that. I mean, that is Nurgle. Greater demon of Nux. Ah, Kugat. Ah, yeah, I've heard about Kugat. I mean, I literally read about Kugat in the previous book, in the last book of the Dark Imperium. He's So the priest, if that is the priest, he feels what is happening. The vision is so real and vivid. That is very disturbing. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Knowledge for everything else. His soul, his body, his mind, his sanity, his morals, his everything. No, no, thank you. He can fight it another way, okay? Just look at his eyes. So compelling. So compelling. Greatly done. This has so much potential, guys. So much. And now we are going to have from Amazon The Wheel of Time. Speaking about fantasy shows, fantasy things. And it looks amazing. I never heard of the books, but it turns out that they're like super famous and I somehow totally missed that they exist. But yeah, I'm not into fantasy books, to read, because what I read is usually only, well, uh, I better not tell you, but it's nothing fictional. I'm not reading anything fictional in general. I'm listening to it in the form of audiobook because that is all the time that I can spare. And in that way, I can get through a lot of books by listening to them and just kind of living them. I mean, experiencing them as a play almost that I'm creating in my mind when listening. So to me, it's not only very convenient and possible, but it is just a lot more entertaining than to read it. So there's that. And audiobooks these days are absolutely amazing. Okay, let me see what you're saying, guys, to catch up. Hi to you, Ahotep. Oh, that's a cool name. Because Egyptian? Is it Egyptian inspired? Great unclean ones are usually described as looking very close to Nurgle. Aha, makes sense. He is a great unclean one, a greater demon of Nurgle. The one on the platform of Kugat, the most powerful greater demon of Nurgle. Thank you. Gold Horse. Sounds like demons are Nurgle's best friend. Well, and Blake and everything that is yucky and horrible. A team excites you. In games, we will not be able to play directly the gods, but their favorite champions. Oh yeah, that makes also sense, especially when when I turn the other trailers back in my mind. So yeah, Smallpox is Nurgle best friend. Thanks, dear Kaiton. Yeah, I know he's the advisor. I mean, like I've said, going by the last book of the Dark Imperium, although it's 40k, that guy is explained. I mean, he is very present in the book. I'm talking about the greater demon Kugat. And yeah, he is an advisor. He is pretty much, I mean, he was like an opposite to Mortarion, and they had some arguings there. So yeah, I found out a lot about his character from that book. Wheel of Time is amazing? Ah, okay. DRL, that is good. I mean, it's not good to mix topics, but it's somewhere around there, let's say. Ah, you never also heard about Wheel of Time. Well, it's so big. Well, I mean, Rosamund Pike is in it, which she's like the biggest movie actress that's in the show. But it looks so big and so grand. It's basically like Lord of the Rings mixed with, I don't know, Chronicles of, not Chronicles of Narnia. There was another show years ago. Narnia? No, Jesus, not Narnia. Why am I saying Narnia? It wasn't Narnia. Damn it! That guy, Manu Bennett was in it. It was a fantasy series. I can't believe that the name escapes me right now. Well, the point is, it's big. It has a huge budget. It looks like a movie. Nothing like differentiates it from a movie. So there's that. But the story, I almost have. I mean, there's mages there, I think. So some people with powers, some people with no powers. But yeah, I don't know much about it. I do plan to see the show though, so there's that. I will not miss anything that's fantasy. I need more of that, always. Demons are leeches that feeds on your souls and feelings. Diamons are something like spiritual guides. That is strange. Who comes up with these things? I mean, that's totally opposite of what it usually is. I mean, of the sources that all those writers are taking their inspiration from, so they're basically creating something totally different out of that. I know it's Nurgle go poop real easy in Inquisitor Martyr. Okay, whatever that means regarding the game, Matty. Oh, lots of books to go through. Like how, if it's, I mean, since now I found out about the show, how is this not more popular? How is this not something like Lord of the Rings by now, if it's that popular? I just don't know. Tomb Kings are that ancient Egypt look. Okay. No, not Game of Thrones. No. Shannara Chronicles. I think it was Shannara. The Shannara Chronicles. Yes, thank you, dear Platon. Thank you. I just thought of it, and you already wrote it. Oh, Tom. Well, I'm glad that you are. Ah, very true. But as a series, they will probably condense 810 a bit. There are a lot of fat there. You mean a lot of things that they could cut out? If it's a series, they can really explore. Ah, okay, Mati. If it's a series, they could explore the books a lot better because they have a lot more time to do it. Or they have to do it like in Lord of the Rings, create 3 super long movies and just, well, yeah, go that route. Which I don't mind because Lord of the Rings is amazing and it is still amazing to watch today. I'm not sure if anyone can top that as quality, honestly. Oh! 100 books on it. Really? Well, I'd love to discuss that, but like, in a separate video, especially the one that I want to do, that I want to do for like a year. But it does require a lot of prep, so that's why I'm not doing it yet. Although I cannot cover anything anyway. And maybe we'll get on that. 40k, Warhammer, 40k, basically esoteric part of that versus real esoteric science and how the two compare. So yeah, I mentioned that a ton of times, but yeah, it's time for me to do that. At least some of it, at least like main parts. How is it different and why is it well? Why I cannot say why. I'm not the writers, but it's interesting how it is different because the writers did take inspiration from there to create all the non-physical world of 40k. So that's the interesting thing to compare. Yes, dear Kaiton. I haven't gotten into all the books, especially considering there are thousands of extra pages. Really? Wow, I didn't know that was that big. That 3 games so far, strategy games, but Warhammer just deserves freaking third person, kind of like Skyrim game. I mean, it's no brainer. You can have the strategy games, you can have third person game like solid game made by a good studio that actually knows what they're doing and not just going to like brush it off like something that's indie property. I just want that and a fantasy show and a movie. Or at least one of the three. It would be good. Third person game, fantasy show, a movie. It's infamously shown down in those books a lot, which is what I mean by there being fat to cut. Ah! Slows down. Okay. Okay. Real esoteric science is bad stuff. Well, rap is taken from astral realm. Well, warp is taken from astral realm. No, real esoteric science is not bad stuff there at all. But there's bad side to everything. But if you don't know what is what, then you can get into horrible pool of information. So you literally have to know a lot. And once again, that's not the topic for this stream, but yeah. And astral realm, that is just so, I don't know how to explain this without sounding weird, but if it's taken like only from that, then it just, well, pretty simple. I mean, it's not, the warp's not simple at all, but if it's taken from that, then it's totally like turn into upside down horror show. And that is what 40k is. It is written like the upside down of the esoteric science. It's literally like the upside down from Stranger Things. The analogy. It's very good with Stranger Things because it seems like the unseen is like totally horrible, and it's the upside down of the material world, whereas the analogy goes like this for 40k compared to esoteric science. It is the upside down of esoteric science. It is the horror show of that. It is full with twisted concepts. If something is like not twisted and horrible, 40k took it and made it twisted and horrible, if that makes sense. But in order for you to know that, you have to have your whole life of studying, basically, which most people, almost no one actually has. So there's that. I cannot explain it in a better way because you literally have to have at least 20 years in that to know what I'm talking about. Okay. Where? Wait, wait to catch up. Budget for years, never got there. Should get still 5 trailers before. Oh, well, that is awesome, DRL. I hope you're right about the 3 to 5 trailers. Yeah, you will die from happiness too. You can say that. I mean, that's gonna be amazing. Just absolutely must have. Warhammer 40k and Warhammer Fantasy top 5 or top 10 books. Which would you like to be made into a TV movie? Well, that's a very good suggestion, Dark. But it's kind of not exactly what should be the question because, you know, knowing how 40k is, I would say not a single or top 5 books. The whole story about the heresy. And it's a huge story, so that should be made into a series. Then before that, how the emperor became the emperor in the first place, all the periods of Earth that were like really key. The I don't know why that escapes me now, but the war with the machines. Damn it, totally forgot right now how it was called, that period. But the point is, those periods that were really key for Earth and for the development of Earth, and then the Emperor came when the Earth and everyone were, I mean, the whole humanity was at its weakest to take advantage of that and all those things. How he came to know Malkador, how Malkador helped him become the Emperor, all of that should be a movie. Then how he got his crusade going, the creation of the Primarchs, all of that is so rich and so long. They could be, I mean, it could be made into like 10 seasons series, like Doctor Who or something. And Doctor Who is more, I think, a lot more. But I don't watch that. Just give it as an example because it's long. So, yeah, I think that's it's how you can do it justice with the big budget, and all of that's gonna be perfect. And then you can go to the new Imperium. I mean, how things are now with Gilliman, and just make a movie out of that. Well, not a movie, still has to be a series. Yeah, and then when we go to the probable resurrection of the Emperor, that's gonna be amazing to see. And about fantasy, before Age of Sigmar, before that happened, just the classic fantasy lore, how the earth was created, the old ones, the races, how they were created. Then you can make probably a show about the elves, so the Eldari, on their own, and you can make, let's say, such a thing with the humans, or just like mix humans, the Eldari, orcs, whoever are like the most prominent factions that live around each other, something like that. And what else? Yeah, after that you can make a series about Age of Sigmar, because Sigmar himself is pretty interesting to me, and he's like fascinating also. So yeah, I would say that. But you cannot like make top 5, because it has to be combination of all of those things in order to have some kind of a cohesive story. You cannot make this as Warhammer Plus is making it now, just taking small stories from the whole universe and make it into these, in a pocket dimension almost, well actually yeah, you can say that, standalone little tiny animations from different parts of the universe that are not connected to, well, they're connected to the whole universe, but obviously they're just like stories taken from blinks of time from the 40k timeline. So yeah, if you want to have a substantial, compelling story, you have to do the substantial and compelling story that is the whole story of both Warhammer 40k and fantasy. And in order to have some kind of a meaning, you have to start from the beginning as much as possible to explain the Emperor, to explain the development of Earth and all those things. Okay, reading. Where was I? Aha, okay, hold on. 40k last I checked. The Isaac Horror live action series is still in the works. Yes it is. But we don't know anything because probably pandemic is to blame. I wish we can have at least one news. Okay, thanks DRL, I'm gonna check that out. I'm not sure if I'm gonna cover it if they release the campaign footage, but we'll see. Warhammer Fantasy, Godric and Felix would be a really nice source for a Witcher style series. Yes, absolutely. Godric and Felix, it's just very entertaining in this kind of a format, especially. It would be a lot. I'm not in particular a fan of the first books, but yeah, I mean, maybe the second and third is better. I'm kind of at the second still. But I see how they have amazing chemistry. They're super awesome. They play off of each other, super cool. It's all of that. It's just the way that the books sometimes are written, how everything is explained, what is happening, all of that. Just somehow does not like speak to me. But other than that, I totally can see how they're super awesome for a series. They're just gonna be pretty damn famous on screen. They're just unique duo. Warhammer Fantasy, yeah, Azicorn series is being adapted into live action series, so there's a movement on adapting 40k. Basically, that can open the door, Gold Force, and that is what I'm hoping. But it's kind of out of nowhere to start with Eisenhorn. He is just only one Inquisitor amongst everything else in the 40k universe. I mean, he is very famous and all, but there's so many others that are before him, so I don't get why start from like not even the middle, but like somewhere in the nowhere of the 40k lore. Think Warhammer Age of Reckoning is still online, run by fans. Think Mono War is still on GOG. Warhammer RPG on C. I have never heard of that. Is it third person? Because I never seen such a game. Men of Iron. Men of Iron. Yes, that period when the Men of Iron were there. And the intellect that they had, and all the STCs that were lost. I mean, before they were lost. Why the Emperor decided to lose them. I mean, to not, keep any of them, and they just got lost. Probably on purpose, but that's another topic. Hey, Nishi. Warcry is here. Okay. Sigmar would lose to Custodes, accompanied with one Sister of Silence. But he's a god. He's a god. I'm not sure if you can compare it that way. If they're like comparable, isn't like a banana and tomato kind of a deal? I mean, more of a different principle, or not, of powers. It's been done by Amazon, probably a huge budget at the least. Yeah, it is, but it's been done by Amazon. I do hope they invested a lot because they can afford it. And Warhammer deserves a big budget, otherwise it's just a bit ridiculous to do it. Although only with Eisenhower they can get away with a lot of budget actually, if you think about it. They just need ship, yeah, let's say ship, maybe a planet or two, Eisenhorn, a few more from the main cast, let's say, that's it. I mean, I don't see like huge set pieces, particularly. I feel only anime would do Warhammer justice, because if they do a normal series or movies, it would probably be a CGI mess. Anime would give it all the justice it needs. Just look at Castlevania. I can't agree with you, because anime is old. It's very old style of animation. Yeah, it could be compelling, but it's also so used that it's ridiculous. And a CGI animation could be freaking amazing, like these. I mean, that is a lot more compelling to watch than 2D animation that's like more than 20 years old now in terms of the style. And I recently saw the Resident Evil series, which is exactly CGI, and it's awesome. It's a bit like uncanny valley in some parts of the graphics, and some parts is like, oh yeah, this is like a video game. But overall, just so good to watch that for the eyes. It's just so pleasant to watch. I mean, look at that. It's just beautiful. I mean, 3D is 3D. It should not be a mess. I mean, why it would be a mess? It should be not a mess. I mean, it has all the quality possibilities. So yeah, it's just probably a lot more expensive than the Japanese animation. I mean, I love Castlevania. I love also the Blood of Zeus animation, which actually, to me, that's better visually than Castlevania. Just everyone look a lot better, and the style, how it plays with the shadows, of the characters, the faces. I mean, as an artist myself, that to me is just amazing and fascinating. How they are able to, look so amazing with just simple black shadows here and there. Just awesome. Blood of Zeus, and that's just my number one animation of this type right now. And Castlevania was awesome, and compelling to watch. It's not like it isn't. I'm invested in the characters, but also at some points the animation was completely low quality. If you see the characters like from afar, they just become, so much less detailed that it's just ridiculous. And that is not the only problem. In general, the FPS is not like. They do not move as smoothly sometimes. Actually, most of the times it's just like everything's like 15 FPS. So that can be called a mess, if animation smoothness is concerned too. It's totally watchable. I'm just saying you can do so much more with good 3D animation, so much more. Yes, of course, GW has their own streaming services with animations, which I cover every freaking week, guys, if you don't know. And Hammer and Bolter is horrible in terms of quality of animation, just 10 FPS on everything. And Ages of Death is good, almost, with a lot of issues with sound design and lip movement and all of that. Sound design, mostly. But yeah, you can also, you can always check my reviews of each episode if you like. Okay, what else? Okay. It's a good jumping in point and one of the highest quality stories. It is successful. That will, as you say, open the door maybe to broader adaptations. Yeah, I know. You can, as long as the story is good, if then you make the animation as good as possible, then you have a recipe for awesomeness, So I'm personally really, really, really tired. Although, once again, I love these animations, Castlevania, Blood of Zeus, and there was one more, I just totally forgot the title right now. I love them, but I am watching this since I was a kid. I just want to watch this now, and they're so much alike, all of these animations. Voltron 2, the new Voltron, same thing, all over again. Major Kill mentioned Sigma and Archeon, where Supesito be the missing Primarch, but were retconned. I never heard of that. I don't know. From everything that I've heard from and read about the writers and how they perceive the missing Primarchs, how they thought about them, it's like they never actually wrote them. They just decided that it's a mystery and it's gonna remain a mystery and that's it. So whatever we say is just up in the air, And they haven't actually thought of it. A lot of things they did, which we are not told, but some things they're just like, oh yeah, that's just a mystery and that's it. Imperium Segmentum. That's interesting. Okay, guys. Some kind of a fly. I love the Blood of Zeus. Only watch first season because Van did not like it. Well, you have to keep watching. If you did not like the first season, I don't know what to tell ya. It is one of the most brutal, disgusting animations as well. It's extremely interesting. I understand why it's disgusting and brutal and in your face, which is not like my best. It's not my preference to make so much emphasis on certain shots, because it kind of becomes almost sadistically, like on purpose, emphasizing something that, okay, we know that this person has their throat ripped off. We don't need to see that in such a disgusting manner. Oh yeah, the other animation was Dragon's Dogma, I think. I think Dragon's Dogma by the game. That was also good, by the way. But overall, Castlevania had a great end. It built up really awesome. It built up the characters. I just love the ending. Just love the ending. Not gonna spoil anything. Just saying, it's great. It's yeah, just to have. I mean, some episodes, of course, are better than others. Every season takes a bit longer to get going, but once it does, it's. I mean, the payoff is pretty good. So, and there's a character called Graf Saint Germain. He's a fascinating one. So I think definitely, if you keep going, maybe you're going to come around and actually like the show, because it is substantial. It's not empty of emotion or substance in general. It has a heart, so there's that. You're biased. Okay, editing really fast, guys, because I have to go. You were saying not make it a Game of Thrones or Vikings, where they are live action. Well, I love Game of Thrones and Vikings. I mean, last seasons, not so much, but the shows, definitely one of the most quality shows, like overall, in TV show history, because they're big, grand, have compelling characters, interesting story, all of that. Once again, not a fan of the last seasons and how things ended. The last two, let's say, or three, since Ragnar died. Long story, but they're solid otherwise, If there was going to be a Warhammer 40k anime, I would like to see Madhouse to make it. I'm not sure which. Is that a studio? I'm not sure about which studio is that. Probably 2 hours movie. Put all the Warhammer 132 trailers. Yeah, I put all the trailers. Oh, the Dead Rod has the best voice acting in Ages of Death. Well, actually, yeah, that was pretty good. I don't want to get into spoilers though, Matty. So, if you haven't seen that episode, but yeah, there's a dreadnought there, and it has a voice, and it sounds pretty awesome and manly. Hey, Puris, had you too. All the content that CA is producing during these weeks, it feels like the game is pretty advanced. So, do you have any idea about why CA is having like that rush to push all the blogs, videos? Well, who knows? I mean, they should do their promotional campaign because the game is closed, so it's normal for them when they have so many trailers to like periodically release them, so they can keep us in this Warhammer 3 state of hype, which it's working. Uh, App Hotep, sorry. Yeah, the missing primers were left out on purpose so people can just do whatever they want with the army. You can say that. I mean, it is the tabletop game, that's like the bottom line at the end of the day. They want to, they want us to play a tabletop, although a lot of Warhammer fans actually don't do that, like me. I'm into the books, into the stories overall, into the fascinating characters and all of that, but I cannot play the tabletop physically. There's just no place for that, or there are no clubs for that, I'm pretty sure. And you know how the situation is, I cannot go anywhere to mingle with a lot of people anyway. So it's extremely expensive hobby, but Warhammer is built around the tabletop. So if they decide to remove someone or something from the story, it's probably going to be so you can do something with those armies, get new armies, and whatever you can buy. Actually, physically, it's gonna be somehow done in this way that you're going to, the story is going to be changed in such a way that's going to benefit the tabletop. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Okay, guys, you're talking about both 40k and fantasy. Catching up real quick with the comments. 17th of February, yes. Okay. Okay, reading. That's interesting, Diarel. I hope there's some kind of a good announcement that we're gonna like. I really do. Oh, thanks, dear Lighton, for the link. Okay. Yeah, after Ragnar it wasn't the same. Bjorn, last ride didn't satisfy me. Ironside my ass. Well, that was sad. That was very sad. And yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. I mean, he did do something pretty freaking amazing and brave because he was going to. Anyway, I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't watched Vikings. So from that side, yes, but it was kind of like anticlimactic before they ruined a lot of everything else before that. So yeah, there's that. Hired Gun did just to the lore? To what lore? Like 2% of the lore, 1% of the lore? I mean, Hive Worlds, all of that is just so small. I mean, such a small part of 40k, and the game is still unplayable. And I was really hyped for it, and I love what I managed to play, but now it's still completely unplayable. Even with my new GPU, it doesn't matter, it just doesn't play. I mean, one time is 120 FPS, the next frame is like 40 for no reason at all. So ridiculous. It's ridiculously bad and broken. Oh no, I wouldn't. You wouldn't want to live there, DB. Believe me, you wouldn't. I mean, it's whole fun and games when we see our fictional universes from a side and we get to like experience them through the games, let's say, or through the movies. But if you actually live there, you're gonna die, okay? It's not gonna be beautiful at all and fun. Okay. Hey, well, the Mastiff, it's good. Oh, yes. Yeah, Mojo Jojo, I got you. And Heavy Bolter, yes. Still broken 42, yeah. Absolutely it is. So guys, that's gonna be it for this. Well, we really got astray from the trailer topic, but I did cover everything about it that I could, so at least that topic was finished before we went into other totally different things. You are. Okay, I get it. Sarcasm, yeah. Oh yes, the stench everywhere. And you probably should like install something on your face so you don't feel it. So yeah, one problem solution that is gonna make you look like a robot that is discounted in Walmart or something. So yeah, there's that. With rust everywhere, all of those things. Yeah, Matty. Well, you did. Oh, you have to tell me about that. I'm interested. You know, people always think that in America everything is better, but it is not. Okay. Okay, never mind, guys. Never mind, guys. I mean, there's good and bad in all countries, literally. So, yeah. Okay, guys. So, really, thank you very much for joining me for this trailer reaction. And have a great and awesome Friday. It's Black Friday somewhere tomorrow here in Bulgaria too. So there's that. Hope that there are some good deals for everyone and we can save some money for the most needed things. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Have an awesome and great weekend as well. If you'd like to support me, links down below to my OnlyFans, where I do my meaningful sex educational content, fitness, health, nutrition, relationship advice, everything that I can help you with professionally is there, and everything else and all the other ways to support me if you wish are also down below. You can become a member of the Imperium on the channel and become a Starty, Primarch or Custody as well. If you wish, have awesome badges in the chat, all those things. With that being said, guys, love ya, and till next time, me G reviews. Bye bye.